John chapter 2. On the third day, there was a wedding of Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Now both Jesus and his disciples were invited to the wedding. And when they ran out of wine, the mother of Jesus said to them, they have no wine. I want to skip down to the part where Jesus makes the water into wine. He calls the servants, right, and filled the water pots with water, and they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, draw some out now and take it to the master of the feast. And they took it. And when the master of the feast had tasted it, the water that was made to wine, he did not know, but the servants knew. I want to point out that it says it was filled to the brim. Why? Because if you add something, then the water is going to rise. So if it's to the brim, that means you can't really add much to it to make it something else. So this shows you that it's to the brim. There's nothing that could be added because it's going to overflow and spill. So when we look at Moses, when he sweetened the bitter water, it was a tree, a stick from a tree, right? Which the Lord showed him, right? And when Elijah purged the spring, he threw salt in the water. Jesus didn't need to put nothing in it to change it for what it is. It shows you that these great prophets were limited because they're not God. They had to follow the directions of God. Jesus is God. He didn't need to add nothing to it. He is the creator of the world. All things were created through him, by him, and for him. It was a complete transformation without adding anything to it. That's why the water is to the brim. I want to tell you that we don't need to add nothing to what Christ has already did for us. But we are the servants. What does that mean? It means that we're called to be handymen and women of God, to do the will of God, to help push these miracles in this world. God works through us and by us, for us, and that we're the hope in this world. But we don't need to add things to it. We don't need to make it more than what God has already told us. What God tells us, he tells us to do it. Do it. You don't need to add to it. You don't need to add to this finished work of Christ on the cross to be saved. But God has called us to fulfill his will. Jesus, if you love me, you obey my commandments. So when Jesus says something, do it. Don't question it. And even a delay response is disobedience. Amen.